el Santísimo, con el Santísimo.
Luz y progreso y gracia a la misericordia. This is Sancista Brujo Luis, and I'm doing a video today because a client came to my home today and they told me about an individual whom they know who is under attack by an earthbound, wayward spirit. But the person in question does not have faith or does not believe in the world of spirit. And if there was a trabajo, a spiritual job that I could do for this person to help this person. And I said, of course, there is. Now, before I go further into the trabajo espiritual, this spell or this trabajo espiritual is for when you attract, like I said, earthbound spirits, wayward spirits, intranquil spirits, burlones, which are trickster spirits, endurecidos, which are hardened spirits. Oftentimes in the world of spirit, there's different reasons why spirits cannot pass on to the realm, to the next realm, and they get stuck in this limbo and purgatory state. Oftentimes, one of the most known cases is that a spirit will not go into the light until a wrong finds a right. So let's say a spirit was murdered or was killed, or whatever it may be. It will not cross over until it leaves messages until that wrong has been righted, or right justice is found for that wrong or that injustice that spirit suffered during their last moments of life. Sometimes the spirit gets so hardened that it doesn't want to move into the light. So it attracts itself to individuals. It sends messages. And then the person, little by little, you begin to see traits that the person, they could have been happy before, and all of a sudden they're very moody, they're very dark, and they're just very upset, and you just see traits change differently. So this is what's happening to one of my clients' friend. And of course, this person does not believe in the world of spirits. So was there something I could do? And I said, of course I could. So this is a trabajo that I do for people who do not believe in this. But of course, we all need some spiritual help. This will help for some time. But the person sooner or later is going to have to get more spiritual help. But here's the ingredients of what I'm going to use. I'm going to use a glass plate. Now, you can use any plate that you want, but for this trabajo espiritual, I'm going to use this glass plate. I'm going to use salt, okay? Just any white salt. Kitchen salt could be good. Salt is good for protection, for purification, for healing. It's a powerful absorber of psychic energy. It's also good against psychic attacks or psychic phenomena, which is in this case is earthbound spirits and wayward spirits. I'm also going to use a glass of clear water for this trabajo espiritual. In this trabajo espiritual, I'm going to use sulfur, okay? And sulfur is good for vitality, energy, purification. It was the word detoxifies an environment, thoughts, energy fields. It destroys hexes. It banishes. It clears negative energies and surroundings. Now, before you use sulfur, many people who are asthmatic, this is not something that you would use. It's very strong. It's very powerful. It just has this very strong rotting smell to it. So if you suffer asthma, please don't use sulfur. You can use garlic skin or garlic peel, which has the same properties as sulfur. For the sulfur, I'm going to use just a spoon that I use for trabajos espiritual, and I'm going to use a charm. Okay, now in Espiritismo we use a lot of Christian folk magic. Okay, so I'm going to use a cross of San Benito. Okay, which I will do a future video on La Medalla de San Benito. And for this trabajo espiritual, I asked the client to give me a picture of the individual in question who is suffering this attack from this spiritual entity or this spiritual energy. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to take the picture of the individual that is under attack from the earthbound spirit, and on top of the picture you're going to place the glass of water over the head if possible. This will help give that person clarity to be able to see that which they are not seeing and not accepting, that they are being spiritually attacked by an entity, okay, whether it be an earthbound spirit, a ghost, or a poltergeist, that they are being attacked by this spiritual energy. So you're going to take the picture on top of the plate and you're going to put the glass around the head section. If you do not have a picture of the person, you can write the name of the person, birth date of the person on a piece of parchment paper, paper bag, it doesn't matter, and you're going to put it under the picture, which is the glass. Then with your hand, you're going to go around the picture and you're going to make a circle of protection with the salt, going clockwise. After you completely have a circle of salt around the picture and the water, you're going to take your sulfur in a spoon. You're not going to sprinkle it with your hand, and you're going to do the same thing, which is you're going to go in a circle all the way around. After I have the circle of sulfur around, first the circle of salt, because the demons or lower level spirits cannot pass a circle of salt until they count every grain of salt, and spirits are actually pretty dumb when it comes to mathematics, so don't worry about that, and demons actually. So they cannot pass a circle of salt or salt period until they, like I said, they count every grain of salt. So that adds that protection, and then the sulfur adds another form of protection over that. Around the picture of the person, I'm going to use a religious charm. I'm going to use a La Medalla de San Benito. If you are of a different spiritual tradition than this, you can use any that you choose. What I do, and usually it's a necklace, but what I do is I'm going to place it like so, and if it's a chain, I'm going to wrap it around the base of the cup. Hopefully, I almost got 3. But I place it around the base of the cup. Then what I do is often I place both hands on top of the cup and I recite a prayer or a psalm. A psalm that's good for this would be Psalm 91. And if you've seen my videos, the mystical and magical powers of the Psalms, check it out. It shows you how to use the Psalms in your magical and your spiritual workings. Here I'm going to use a prayer of spiritual protection, or the circle of protection. And like I said, I placed both my hands on the cup, and I breathe deeply, and then I just recite, in the name of Jesus Christ, I take authority and I bind all powers, forces in the air, in the ground, in the water, and in the underground, in nature and in fire. You are the Lord over the entire universe, and I give you the glory for your creation. In your name, I bind all demonic forces that have come against us and our families, and I seal it all in this house, in the protection of your precious blood that was shed for us on the cross. Mary, our mother, we seek your protection and intercession with the Sacred Heart of Jesus for us and our families, and surround us with your mantle of love to discourage the enemy. Saint Michael, our guardian angels and spirit guides, come defend us and our families in battles against all the evil ones that roam the earth. In the name of Jesus, I bind and command all the powers and forces of evil to depart right now away from us, our homes and our lands. We thank you, Lord Jesus, for you are a faithful and compassionate teacher. Amen. So what I do is I often pray that for 9 days, consecutive days. And what I do, and like I said, Psalm 91, you can use Psalm 91, or you can use any spiritual or religious incantation, prayer, or invocation, well, not invocation, incantation or prayer or chant that you want. And every day I check the water to check for burbujas, bubbles, to see if it's picking up any spiritual fluids. That, in this case, is a good sign. And what you would do is every day you would throw the water out and you would replace it with a new glass of water, and then you would pray the same exact prayers that you recited for those 7 to 9 days. You can use Psalm 91. You can use the circle of protection, which I just prayed, or you can use any prayer that you want. Every day, checking the glass to check if it has bubbles, remembering that the bubbles are picking up the negative vibrations around the person's thoughts, the person's brain, the person's head, and how they're thinking. Usually by the 9th day, the cup should be clear. If it is not clear and you still see bubbles, this can be an indication that the person still needs more spiritual work. If the glass is clean on the 9th day, you don't have to replace this every day. The only thing that you have to replace is just the water. On the 9th day of doing this spiritual work, you will take the salt with a glove and the sulfur, and you will sprinkle it outside around the house, or around the 4 corners of where you reside, whether it be a building, a block, whatever it may be. You're going to sprinkle it in the 4 corners if you do not live in a house, and you can make a circle of protection. Okay. This will purify and cleanse the area. Please, if you have animals, if you have dogs or cats or pets, please do not use sulfur where these animals can, or little children for that matter, because this is toxic and is very dangerous. If you suffer asthma, and please don't touch it with your bare hands. If you suffer asthma, do not use the sulfur. Use garlic skin or the garlic peel, and you can just sprinkle it or place the peels around the salt, which the garlic peel has the same spiritual and magical properties as sulfur. There are many ways to skin a cat, as the saying goes. So I want to show you a different way of how to do el trabajo espiritual with different items. Now I'm still using the glass plate with the sulfur and the salt. still have the picture, but instead of a glass, I'm using a spiritual fuente, or a spiritual fountain is what we call it in Espiritismo. Now within it, and I fill it halfway with water. Within it, I place a gray candle, and gray is the color between white and black. It is the color of neutrality and balance. It's a protective color, and a protective color that neutralizes. It neutralizes negative energy directed towards you. It offsets negative influences. It flushes poisons and negativity from the body. In this case, that negativity caused by earth-bound spirits, and it lets us be unseen, as in a cloud of mist, okay, or a cloud of, mist, okay. If you cannot get a gray candle, you can use a white candle for this job. And then what I did is I took la medalla de San Benito, and I tied it, or I placed it around the fuente espiritual. In this case, if you do it this way, you do not have to change the water every day. You will leave the candle within the water for the 7 or 9 days, depending on how, this is a 7-day candle, so it's going to last 7 days. So I will not remove anything from here until that candle is completely gone and it's all the way down. But every night I recite the same prayers that I recited when I started El Trabajo Espiritual, which I said could be Psalm 91 or the Circle of Protection, or any prayer or chant or incantation depending on your spiritual or religious beliefs. Now, in closing, one of the greatest weapons an espiritista or spiritual person has, or two, is their faith and prayer. Okay, those are the most important weapons we have: faith and prayer. Okay, without having faith in your spiritual work, and without having faith in the words that are coming from those prayers, nothing can help you. So you must have faith. You must say your prayers from the bottom of your soul. You must feel them from the bottom of your soul, and you have to have courage. Okay, spirits work, lower level spirits, earthbound spirits, wayward spirits, spirits that are trapped, ghosts, poltergeists. Often they work, or they feed off the fear of people. Often the person that's the most attacked by these spirits is the person who's the least person to believe in the spirits. Okay, usually that's the person that you see that is going to be attacked, or that you're going to see that the person is going to manifest traits of the spirit. Okay, so you will often see that. Remember, you can do this. When I'm doing this trabajo, you do not have to change the water, like I said, every 7 days, if you're doing it this way with the candle within it. After the 7 days, you're going to check up to see all the burbujas, all the bubbles. There's none right here at this moment. The more burbujas you have, the more bubbles, the more energy, residual energy was picked up from the person. Okay, after the 7 days or the 9 days, depending on the candle, you get rid of the candle and you flush the water. Actually, I wouldn't flush the water in the house down the toilet. What I would do I would take it to a tree or far away from the house, where on a hot sunny day where the steam will evaporate it and take it up into the heavens. And again, I will take the sulfur and the salt, and I will sprinkle it around the house, wearing gloves, of course, Or if you don't live in a house, you live in an apartment building, around the four corners of the apartment building, making sure you go clockwise. So you would start in the east and you would go clockwise. Do not go counterclockwise, meaning you will go around the hands of the clock, or you will go towards the direction of the sun. Okay, this is just an easy way to help protect a person who's under attack from a negative spiritual entity, spirit in the home, a bothersome spirit. Oftentimes, spirits live with us in peaceful harmony. Most people have spirits in their homes. Wherever we walk, someone passed away in certain places, or in certain areas. Some homes are built on Indian or close to Indian graveyards, or places where great wars were built. So in doing these spiritual protections on a daily basis, you can keep the energy level of the home clean and peaceful. Do not fear the spirits, especially if it's an earthbound spirit. Remember, they feed off fear, and you have to have, like we say in Puerto Rico, cojones. You have to stand up. And yes, it could get scary. Don't get me wrong. I have been physically attacked by spirits, and even at my age, after so many years, there's a Puerto Rican saying, "Se me para los pelos," my hairs get up on end. But I keep, I've go forward. I faced worse demons, but if you can't do this, if you don't have, the courage to find a spiritual healer, a shaman, or an espiritista, or a spiritualist who will help you, or a spiritist. Spiritualist and spiritist are two different things, but they will help you, but they work in the same way, but they will help you with this. I hope you enjoy this video. If you have any comments, please leave a comment down below. Please subscribe, and please share in your favorite social media. This is Sancista Brujo Luis, Santo Sanse. Luz y Progreso, Light and Progress, Honor and Respects. This is your host, Sancista Brujo Luis. So today I'm going to show you the most simplest encanto. Encanto in Spanish means a charm that anyone can use. Now, before I go into this charm, I'm going to give you a refrán. A refrán is a saying my grandmother used to say when I was little. And she used to say, que falte todo en la casa, menos la sal y el arroz. Simply translated, it means may everything be missing in the house but salt and rice. Okay, and I remember in Puerto Rican households in the olden days, they used to make a charm or un encanto with a salt and or salt or pepper glass bottle. And if you notice in this one, there's some rice in there. So this is part of the charm. Encanto, and you see it needs a little cleaning, but you can see the salt. Okay, and this is just a basic charm or basic encanto that I'm going to show you today. You're going to open your salt and you're going to fill it 1/3 of the way with salt. And salt represents the element of earth, protection, purification, and healing. That's why I have this plate, because you don't want to spill any salt. You want to get 1/3. Spilling salt is bad luck. So at least I can collect it here and still use it. But salt represents the element of earth. It's good for protection, purification, and healing. After this, at 1/3, I'm going to take my spoon and I'm going to fill another 1/3 with some rice. So you can use any rice that you choose. You can use long grain rice, short grain rice, balsamic rice. Now, rice represents the element of earth and sun, and it represents blessings, money, wealth, prosperity, abundance, fertility, and protection. There was a reason why when people used to get married in the olden days, they would throw rice on the newlywed because it would represent all those qualities that I just mentioned. So what you're going to do is just 1/3 with that rice and the rest with salt to seal and bind it. I can show you have a plate so you don't spill it. Now, it is said that if you ever spill salt, take a pinch of that salt and throw it over your left shoulder. This will, of course, spilled salt represents bad luck. So you take a pinch of that salt and throw it over your left shoulder to remove any bad luck. Okay, just a little bit. You don't need that much. And just throw it over your shoulder to reverse any bad luck. And here's my simple salt and pepper charm that you will see in a lot of Hispanic households when they give you salt. So don't be alarmed by that. This is a charm for wealth, protection, luck, and abundance within the home. That's it. The salt that I made, you can use this, you can use kitchen salt, you can use sea salt, you can use Himalayan crystal salt, you can use black salt, you can use whatever salt you want. This is your charm. You can use black stone or crystal. It's all up to you. And you just place the stone on top of the salt. And what you do, this is going to be a charm of blessing for the house. And what you're going to do is you're going to recite 3 times over it. Salt from the earth, salt from the ground, help keep my home safe and sound. Salt from the earth, salt from the ground, help keep my home safe and sound. Salt from the earth, salt from the ground, help keep my home safe and sound. And you can leave this as a charm of protection for the house. And you just keep it in your kitchen as a nice protective charm. Again, you can use crystals, you can use whatever you want. Keep it high above in the kitchen area. I was in a client's house where, the person had moved into a new place and she wanted to cleanse the house of vibrations and all that. And, she had just moved in. And I said, let's cleanse the house, let's purify the house. And she said, I don't have no sage. I said, honey, you don't need sage. We're Puerto Rican. Somos Boricua. You don't need sage, There's a lot of things you can use. You don't always have to use sage. So I said, Mama, just get me una cebollita, an onion, get me garlic, ajo. We always have cebolla and ajo in the house. Puerto Ricans, we always use this as a staple in our foods. And I told her, Puerto Ricans, especially espiritistas, never throw away the garlic skin or the onion skin. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. This is a garlic, ajo, and we try to save the garlic skin because the garlic skin can be used for removing negative vibrations from the home, for cleansing the home from thought forms, energy, depression. It also, both onion, I know garlic is ruled by Mars, fiery energy. Not sure if onion is, I can't remember right now, but I know garlic is. So they're good for removing negative energy, psychic dirt, energy that may be absorbed in the walls of the house. Because we do clean the house, but physically, with Windex and all that. But you got to clean the house. You got to make sure your house is purified, and not always you need sage. You can use agua florida and incenses and prayers and all that. So I told her, don't throw away your garlic skin and don't throw away your onion skins. Very good for cleansing, for removing. And I always use them because when I do sesiones espiritistas, sesiones veladas espirituales, after everyone leaves the house or the reuniones espirituales, I like to cleanse the house, my house. And what I do is I save my garlic skins and so here, this is garlic skin. I like to cleanse the house, and what I do is I actually just put it on charcoal. Just put it on charcoal. It's lit. So I put it on the charcoal. It starts throwing off that smoke. See that smoke right there? That's what I want. And what I do is I cleanse around the house. If a person, just putting this garlic skin on the charcoal. I don't know if you can hear it crackling, but it burns really good. Okay, this is very strong. It's not a sweet smelling scent, so don't expect that. Wish I had prepared. And I'm going to use some onion skin because they're both great for removing negative energies from the house. The best thing to do is you could just place the leaf, not the leaf, the skin of the garlic on the charcoal, or you can just powder it down. I should have just powdered it down. Put it on, there you go. Powder it down, pass it around the house, cleanse the house, remove all that negative vibration that you do not want within your house. Some onion and garlic skin in my hand. What I'm going to do is I'm going to crush it up in my hand. Just really crush it up. I think it definitely burn much easier that way. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it on, now I'm going to place it up, and I'm doing it in my hand. Now I'm going to use that and place it on the charcoal. And this will burn much better. This is good for removing the evil eye, removing negative energies from the house. Depression doesn't smell good. It smells like garlic and onion, okay? So whenever you use garlic and onion to purify, to cleanse, it's also good to cleanse someone who has negative vibrations on them, whether it be the evil eye, envidia, mal de ojo, whatever it may be. You can take this and you can pass it over a person's aura to cleanse the person, okay? Whenever you use garlic and onion to remove a negative vibration or a thought form or anything in the house, you also want to burn, after you have completed this, you want to burn something sweet, whether you burn after this, whether you burn frankincense, you use nag champa, okay? Whether you use frankincense, nag champa, anything sweet, but when you remove, you want to attract now something positive into the house. So what the garlic skin and the onion smoke does is remove, okay? While after you remove, you want to attract something positive. So when this is finished, okay, then you also do that. Pass it by the doors of the house, the windows of the house, every window of the house. A lot of brujos, they do hang garlic cloves by the window and by the windows or by the doorways to absorb negative vibration. And by burning the skins, believe it or not, they're really good. It burns really good. It's really good for cleansing the home, the doorways, the windows, especially if someone comes into your house that gives you anxiety or brings negative vibrations into the home. You don't want that in your house. Then you just take some of that garlic skin and some of that onion skin and burn it afuera. Sacúdete, sacúdete, sacúdete. With the onion, a lot of espiritistas and brujos and curanderas would do this with the onion, especially if someone is sick. In the sick room, you want to cut an onion and you want to place the onion, you can cut it any way you want, you want to place it on a plate and you want to place it by the bed of the person who is sick. It could be materially sick, physically sick, or spiritually sick. The onion will absorb bacteria, and not just bacteria, it can also absorb negative vibrations from the person. So you want to peel the onion and you want to cut it, and you want to put it in a plate and put it next to the bed of the person who may be sick, as the onion will absorb any bacteria, any negative vibration. Now these are folk traditions that we do in Puerto Rico and in many Latin American countries, and a lot of them do that. So you can use la cebolla to cleanse, to purify, to absorb negative vibrations, especially negative vibrations from mal de ojo, evil eye, mala lengua, o bochinche, chismes. Okay? Garlic is also used, el ajo, is also used to attract money. And sometimes, if a person plays bingo, or legitimately it attracts money and attracts good luck and all that. So usually a resguardo is prepared for a client, and all it really is either a red or a green bag. All I happen to have is black bags. But el brujo takes 3 garlic cloves
and they place it into un resguardito, una bolsita, you know, and they prepare it, they bless it, they add smoke to it. Okay, so they give this to the client. This is prepared, this is blessed, this is, you know, each brujo does it differently. They fumigate it, and they charge it to attract money, especially if the person is playing bingo or lottery or whatever it may be, but as a charm to attract. It could be used in a little black bag, or you can take garlic and place it. This is not a purse. I'm going to pretend it's a purse. You can take this little charm bag and place it into your purse. Keep it in your purse to attract good luck. And you just want to keep it there for the cycle of a full moon, okay? No more than that. I wouldn't keep that. Usually it's not a charm bag that you want to keep forever. It's just the cycle of a full moon, so it's pretty much 1 month. Onions, el ajo, if someone is throwing evil eye or envidia to your property, to your home, a lot of times a person will cut una cebolla, pray over the cebolla, bless the cebolla, the onion, and take the part where it's wet, and they will pass it over the doorway of the house. So, you know, both the inside and the outsides of the house. And also, I knew a person who purchased a new car and, you know, wanted to make sure that no one gave the car an evil eye. So what the person did is they cut the onions and they blessed the wheels of the car, literally the 4 wheels, los cuatro, and they invoke los cuatro ángeles, San Miguel, San Rafael, San Gabriel, San Uriel, to protect and defend the car. But yeah, you can use the onion to protect, to defend, to watch over. And they are both ruled, both garlic, and this is all messed up, I opened it, both the garlic, el ajo, garlic, cebolla, onion are masculine energies ruled by Mars, so they have Mars quality. And so yeah, that's what pretty much they're used for. There's a lot of different folk ways of using both el ajo and the garlic. So I just wanted to include this in the video.